Still morning for about 1 minute, so almost good noon. Welcome. Welcome to Wauconda. So glad you're here. It really does mean a lot to me that you all take time to be with me. And my focus today is just to talk with you, to be able to hear from you, to hear what's on your hearts, minds, thoughts you have, suggestions you have. And so I'm not going to do any kind of opening statement. We're going to get right to questions. If you've got questions, please write them, give them to one of our staff who are around. Beth is going to be reading off the questions so everybody can hear them, and then I will respond quickly so we can get through as many questions as possible. Just again, 30 seconds at the beginning. Welcome, so glad you're here. Any way we can be helpful, we want to be helpful. So please let us know. It's the favorite thing we get to do is actually trying to cut through red tape or help people with the challenge or struggle that they've got. And that's why staff is here. They're going to be here. They're going to follow up. One last thing I'll say is I know as we go around, we're not going to agree on everything. That is the power of democracy, is the idea that we don't always agree on things, but we respect each other enough to listen. And that's my goal today, is to listen to you, and I hope we can respect each other as well, knowing that there's going to be differences of opinion. That is so important, and it is something, on the way in, I was here 3 years ago on September 11th at the dedication of the 9/11 memorial here in Wauconda. Phenomenal memorial. If you haven't seen it, please, when we're done here, take 5 minutes to walk over there. It's so moving. I had the privilege of going to high school with Todd Beamer. I saw Todd's name he was on Flight 93, one of the passengers that stormed the cockpit there. And I just was even thinking about that, looking at his name, that pretty much positive that everybody on Flight 93 didn't agree on everything, but they agreed that they had a common mission that day. And I'm confident that their work saved the U.S. Capitol, that plane was heading there. And so grateful, again, for heroes that were on that day, but heroes that continue. Also grateful to be in this place. And to our veterans, to families who have veterans, spouses of veterans, parents of kids who are serving or grandkids who are serving, thank you. We are so grateful, and that's what that memorial is all about. So welcome. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Beth Goncher. We had someone who was going to be reading questions. She was feeling ill this morning, so Beth is going to step in to handle questions, and then I will be limited in my time of responding to them so we can get through as many as we can. So thank you. Welcome.
Who cares?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, Randy, your first question here is, what is your opinion on Trump Care versus Obamacare? And what is your opinion on Medicare too?
Well, let me start with the end one. Medicare, I am 100% supportive of Medicare. I want it to work. I want to make sure it's there. I want to make sure it's growing, and that it's not just Medicare, but it's accepted by doctors, that people can actually go in and see their doctors. I haven't really seen a complete plan from President Trump. There has been some plans that have been presented in the House, presented in the Senate. There's not one that I agree with 100%. What I do want to see is real options for people. I want patient-focused care, not insurance-focused care like we've had, not government-focused care like we have, but patient-focused care. And I think the goal that we do there is really building back marketplaces where people can have choices and options, where there's not just one insurance company, which is the current situation, where there's really only one for the vast majority of Northern Illinois. That's not a choice. That's all you've got, and it's take it or leave it. We've got to get back where we can have real choices, real options. I also want to make sure that we've got this knowing, sorry, I don't want to stand at the wrong spot. I'm going to move around to try and get out of. I'll find a good spot. That's not it. Somewhere here. I'll stand still. So the other thing is pre-existing conditions. I want to make sure that people are confident with that they're covered, that if they've got pre-existing conditions, they're not going to be kicked off their insurance because they have those pre-existing conditions. That's something I've been very supportive of, spoken out for. We'll continue to fight for that, whatever next steps we take, making sure that that is a part of it, that people with pre-existing conditions are cared for. And like I started with, making sure that our seniors have care, that they can see doctors. One last thing I'll say is making sure our veterans get the care that they need. There's been some great work with the VA. We're fortunate here in Northern Illinois with Hines and with North Chicago, the Lovell facility. They really are excellent. They've even become better over the last couple of years. We need to keep improving. We need to keep getting better there, making sure that everybody not only can get coverage, but can get care, and that they can get health care that they can afford, that they can feel comfortable with, where they can make choices where it really fits them, and it's patient focused.